So, do you love SimCity? Look, I'm not talking about the newer versions. I'm talking about the old school 1989 Maxis classic. SimCity was the greatest, I'm gonna say one of the greatest memories of my schooling life. I remember playing this on like an old school Mac. It was like black and white. It was just crazy experience because back then, kids nowadays have computers, coming out of their wazoo, but back then a computer at a school was massive. So I think we had like one computer for like the entire school. Anyway, I remember, during class we could play SimCity on it, and I couldn't think of a better day I had in primary school. So look, anyway, I'm gushing here, but the original SimCity, residential, commercial, industrial, having those little like squares and putting them around, it was just the best. And do you know what? I'm not the only one who had that experience. Alban Viard, who is a French designer and publisher, also had that experience, and he's brought that game, or that video game, to life through SimCity. Now, SimCity was first released back in 2015, and unfortunately, because he's a small designer publisher, it didn't get a big release, didn't get a retail release or anything like that, so really hard to come by. But what he's done is he re-released this as a deluxe version, and that is what is on Kickstarter right now, and that is what we're going to go check out. So, if you haven't heard of Alban Viard, look, the guy is a genius. He brought us, look at this, Clinic. So this is the deluxe edition, but this game is an absolute masterpiece. Look, his games are heavy. If you can give them the time to learn the rules, you're going to get yourself an incredible gaming experience, and it's just on a level like just nothing else. Like, think Vital Lacerda sort of level heaviness, and they're the sort of games that Alban creates, and I, for one, absolutely adore that sort of level of heaviness. So that's why I wanted to check this out. But unfortunately, there's not many people reviewing this or sort of looking at this game. And I'm shocked when I went online to sort of see other sort of, YouTube and stuff. There's just nothing out there except for all the old videos from back in like 2015. So anyway, look, I'm going to give it some love because I think this game deserves some love. So let's go check this out. SimCity Deluxe Edition. This is the video. So it's one guy. He does everything himself. Publisher, designer. I think he even packs them up and posts them out himself. He does everything. Okay, so there's a look at your player screens, all your components. Obviously, this is like from just a computer generated imagery, and there's your game. So you're going to have a expansion and the core game. So currently we're at 118,000 Australian, which is about 90,000 US. So there's a look at what we have. So on the left there is your core box, and on the right is your winter expansion. And let's have a look. So what does it sort of look like there? That's sort of what it looks like. So you're going to have in the middle there, that is your sort of, I guess, your electoral sort of mayoral council board. Here's going to be your individual city board. So this is what you're going to do to design your city up. Now this is interesting. This is an interesting mechanic. This is a rondel where basically you have all these like different people like mayors and engineers and things like that, and you basically, the person whose turn it is gets to pick one, and that's going to actually shape for everyone else. So they're like sort of, I guess, bonus actions for the round, or advantages for the round, and basically where you pick, that's going to shape where everyone else has to pick. If they want to go further away from where they pick, say for example you pick that one and they want to pick over here, that's going to cost them a lot of extra money, and money is tight in this game. So interesting thing is the artwork is by Conchai Morio, so brand new updated artwork there. And after the success of Clinic Deluxe Edition, he basically wanted to do the same thing. Give, SimCity, which according to him is his magnum opus, he wanted to give that the deluxe treatment. So yep, just saying, yep, look, had a small print run, hard to get, cool, so let's bring out a new version. Look, complete highlights here. SimCity Deluxe Definitive Edition, a popular board game inspired by SimCity, and I, for one, thank you for doing that. And look, that's what you're going to get, a whole bunch of stuff. You're going to get expansion, you're going to get a whole bunch of tile stuff, but we're going to go through all that very shortly. Look, to be elected mayor, you have to attract citizens, encourage growth for residential areas, stimulate commercial industrial sectors. It is such a great mechanism. We're going to talk about that very, very shortly. So there's some really old videos, so like they're all the 2015 videos. Unfortunately, there's nothing new on here, but the gameplay hasn't really changed from those videos, so you're still going to get a fair idea. So SimCity de l'application, explication. Butchered my French. I had one crack at it, absolutely butchered it, and I apologize. But yes, he's a French designer, so there is also a French version of this game. Cool. and launched a Kickstarter, and unfortunately, because it hasn't got that much love at the moment, there's only one stretch goal unlocked, which is these 4 two-sided riverboards. But the next one that's going to unlock is some upgraded Godzilla meeples from, I'm assuming they would have been tokens originally, and pollution meeples. Okay. So here's an overview of the rules. So build the most effective city on the playboard. So there are green residence tiles, blue commerce tiles, yellow industry tiles, which is a la SimCity. So, and basically all of them are going to interact with each other. So we'll get down to them sort of shortly, but keep an eye on pollution. So that is the other thing to sort of think about in this, that pollution is something that is going to be, you have to track, and there's going to be negative points at the end if you don't sort of keep that under control. And that's that circle of actions mechanism, which is really interesting. So you're hiring people that are going to give you that advantage for the round, but like I said, it could screw over the other people because it's going to cost them more if they don't want, you know, people that's close to the circle of actions that you chose. Okay, so the evolving city. So this is that mechanism I was talking about, which is absolutely brilliant. So what this is, during your turn, you'll be sort of placing down buildings, but in between your turns, the city is going to grow on itself if you plan efficiently. So it's a complete and utter puzzle that you've got to work out, and it's just brilliant. So have a look at these residential, which are in the green. So you have one residential there, and you place a, what's this, cultural building. So each time you place another cultural building next to a residential, in between turns, the residential is automatically going to grow. So as we can see here, two cultural, the residential grows. 3 cultural, the residential grows. 4 cultural, the residential grows. And that is the main mechanism that's going to give you sort of bonus moves between each turn. And the same thing with commercial. Commercial, if you have residential next to your commercial, the commercial will grow. And the same thing here with your industry. You have factories next to your industry will grow. So, such a good mechanic. Okay, and player interaction. So one of the things is you're going to have the other people's cities next to you, and you could build up a lot of these sort of commercial industrial industries yourself, but you know, that's going to create more pollution. So why not send your citizens over to use your neighbors, you know, commercial buildings or something like that, because that then, you know, you still get the advantages, but you don't get the pollution in your city. So it's a real balancing act there. And yep. Cool, just more close-ups of our sort of, you know, player boards and stuff. And this is the small city winter expansion. And yep, get some cards. We'll get to all this shortly. We got, yeah, a couple little bonus tiles. Sydney Harbour Bridge, can't go wrong with that. And if you want to play on Tabletopia, it's on Tabletopia. So what is new? So obviously the upgraded graphics by Quanchai, components, yep, just upgraded, building tiles, everything's just upgraded. And hopefully one of the main things here is the rules. Look, these games are complicated, so the rules need to be so spot on because there's just so many intricate little things you have to know and do. And if the rulebook isn't written well, then it's going to be just a chore. Okay. And an upgraded solo game as well. So here's a look at the components now. This is what I wanted to get to. So what you're going to get in the core box, you're going to get your 8 action cards. That's going to be your rondelle there. And then you're going to get a whole bunch of promises. Yep. And more promise cards. Cool. And then here we go. Two-sided city council board. So that's that core board that's in the middle between all the players. And then your own individual player boards and an easy and expert side. Player screens and then bulk tokens. Just crazy amount of tokens here. Yep, and now you're going to get some meeples as well. If you ever play Clinic, my freaking Nora, there's some meeples and resources and tokens in there. It is crazy bullshit. Okay, and the money, cool. And yep, rulebook and expansion. That's what you get with the expansion. More player boards. So just a bit of variety, bit of, you know, just something a bit different. Some more, yep, more cards. And what else have we got here? And well, I guess we're getting some upgraded stuff like recycling centers, airport tiles. And one of the big things is power plants. If you remember the original SimCity, power plants is such a big, you know, part of that game. I'm so glad he's brought that in. Okay, so there we go. And the rule book. And this is almost quite sad because no reviewers are reviewing this or looking at this, that, you know, he's had to go on to bloody BGG to get, you know, some quotes and stuff. Yeah, mate, I'm happy to give you a quote. Just reach out. I'd give you a quote any day of the week. Okay, and rules. If you want the rules there, jump on there. And yep, cool. International version is going to English, French, German, and Spanish rules. And there we go. Now the prices. So before I show you the price, look, she's not cheap. She is pretty damn expensive for what it is, but look, again, think of it this small, you know, publisher. Like, he does everything himself. I'm pretty sure he even packs everything up and posts it out himself. He does the lot. So what we have is 69 bucks for the core game, which isn't bad itself. And when you think about everything you actually get, you're getting a lot of, you know, cardboard there. You're getting a lot of, you know, meeples. You're getting a lot of things. So look, I don't mind. 99 bucks. Look, again, it's on the expensive side, but you're getting quite a unique game that's going to be really hard to get. Hopefully, maybe it's sought after. You know, once people start hearing about it a bit more. I whinged about Tamashi, that I thought Tamashi was a little bit you know, overpriced, and to be honest, most Kickstarters are overpriced. Like, it's getting to the stage where just everything now is just crazy expensive, and majority of the time I'll say to you, wait for retail. Like, you're gonna get it cheaper, but in this instance, it's not going to retail, and I just think for me, I would be more than happy to pay that amount, like, for just such a unique gaming experience. So look, expensive, but yes, I think it's worth it. And shipping, look, again, shipping's not cheap. 17, 19 there. Yeah, it's probably around 15 and 19 for, you know, most games. Look, again, it is what it is. There's no point whinging about it. That's just what it costs. So look, I'm gonna leave it there. I think this game, yeah, I think this game could be really special. So all I know is I haven't played it. All I know is I can base it off my experience with Clinic, and I just think, yeah, it was just literally in my top 10 experiences ever playing a game was that first time playing Clinic. So if I can get, you know, even, you know, a quarter of that sort of feeling and that experience, that love, then this is a no-brainer for me. This is an instant back for me, and I hope, you know, hopefully this might sort of open, you know, this game up to other people who weren't even aware of it, weren't tracking it. But again, go into it knowing that this game is heavy. Like, if you're into Vitala sort of games, then this game is probably for you. So look, that's pretty much it. I'm Hoax. This is Board Game Bangers. Till next time, laters.